Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're all doing well. So I'm on with my final video with my Globleland products. So I'd like to do two projects with you today. The first one will be using these flower calendar stamps that I bought. I love these. Heaps of things that I want to do with these. So I had a bit of fun doing a whole lot of stamping with these last night. There's one project, quick little project I thought I'd do today. So I'm going to use this top one here, flowers, it says. I think this is my favourite stamp of them all. So I've got that on my acrylic block, and I've got some of these Poppycraft archival inks. They're quite juicy, these. So I'm just inking it up, and I've got old book page as usual. Bit of recycling. And what I've been doing is just grabbing an old book page and almost doing the whole thing in the one colour, and then grabbing another colour and another stamp and doing the whole thing, and it just gives me a whole heap that I can play with for future projects. Just like this. Do secondary stamps as well, like that. And then if I move that out of the way, while I've got my stamp on the block and my archival ink out, I've been grabbing a bit of this. It's just, I don't know if it's an old pillowcase or something, but it's just some linen. It's quite fine. Now, these inks are quite wet and they do tend to bleed a bit with the material. Some of the inks bleed a bit more than others, so I just had to choose the ones that didn't bleed as much to do this with. But I went and stamped some of my material as well. And that just gives me some options for some different projects. So in the future, I probably would like to do some videos using these as well to make some embellishments for my journals. Works better if you sort of hold it there for a while so that the ink has time to soak in. There. So it's a good thing to do while you've got everything set up. Do a bit of a mass stamping. So I'll put that to the side to dry, and that'll be ready for some future projects. So I have my big shot here, and I've got my stamped images, and I've grabbed just a couple of my ticket dies, ticket shaped dies, and they fit quite nicely over the top of the stamps. So what I have been doing is just putting them where I think they look good, trying to get them sort of straight. And we might do this one. Put my top plate on without moving my dies too much, hopefully. And then we'll run that through. So I spent some time doing that last night. And I'll show you the results here. So I have all of these beautiful tickets ready to go. You can always add to them, ink around them, use them in clusters or just collaging. I think they're gorgeous. Lots of lovely different colours. Just love all my tickets. So I think we will use this one for our little project today. So put these to the side. And what I have got is some music paper here. It's got a little bit of writing on it, which doesn't bother me too much, but I might just rub this off and make this the outside. There's a whole lot on that side, but that's all right because we'll make that the inside. So we might fold it up. What I want to do is make a little envelope, just a real simple book page envelope. So we'll fold it there. And we will fold it. What I might do also is fold a little lip just to make it a little more stable up here where we slip things in and out. And I'll stick that piece down. Looks a bit crooked, but that's all right. And then we fold our little top flap down. What I'm going to do is take it to the sewing machine, and I'm just going to sew across here first. And then I will fold this bit up, and then I will sew all the way around the edges. And then we will be back to decorate. What I could do is just corner around. I might do that. I'll just do a little corner around here. That will do. So I've still got the rough edge there and everything, but I quite like the rustic nature of that for our junk journals. So next, for a bit of embellishment, you can see the sewing. I didn't go along the bottom here, but I did do across this part, then folded it up and did around there. And it's created this little envelope pocket here. I think that looks really sweet. I'm trying to avoid inking. I do like the way it looks without the ink, so we'll see how we go. So I did a whole lot of die cutting the other day and have all these beautiful coloured dies here. So I'm thinking of using a couple of these. Oh, I like those to put underneath my little ticket. And then I have some of this curtain lace. I think we'll chop a bit of this off. I think that might go nicely underneath as well. Yes, I do like that. So then we just got to figure out how we want to put it all. I liked it better before. All right, so I need my tweezers. Just thinking I might be able to chop off this little bit. We can stick this piece down. So I think the ticket needs just a tad of edging with some purple. So I've got my distress ink here. Just a little, it'll just highlight it a little, and it will stand out a little bit more from the background there. Yeah. Now I want to ink around the envelope. We will see. I couldn't help myself. So very simple, but I think that'll be lovely to add as a little pocket to our journal in the future. And I love the little tickets. There's a lot that could be done with those. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Now we will get on with our next project. So for my next project, I'm using Globleland's Dragonfly stamp and die set. So they're the stamps. They are beautiful. And this is the matching die set. So as you can see, I started pulling them apart. So they're quite simple. They're joined together with these metal bits, which you can just wobble back and forth and they come off. The shorter bits can be a little bit more difficult. So if you struggle to get them off, you just grab a pair of pliers and you can easily wobble them off with your pliers. So firstly, what I'd like to do with these is, you probably can't see too well, but under here, what I might do is grab a piece of white paper and put underneath. I have some acetate. It's actually some transparency film, so it's nice and thin. So I want to stamp my dragonflies on that. So to do that, I have some StazOn, some black StazOn, so that it won't rub off once it dries. So let's get to it. I have my stamp block here. Got my dragonflies. So we'll start with this big, beautiful one. So I do like to stamp on something else first, just to make sure that I'm inking up enough. So I have some book page here that I can stamp onto first. It's getting there. Need to get a bit more ink on the antenna by the looks. We'll just press down a bit more on the antenna. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. So what I'm going to do is stamp one of each of the, I think I'm just going to do the bigger dragonflies. There is a really little one, but I think I'm going to, well, there's two little ones. I'm just going to do one of each of the big ones for now. Oops, missed the top of that. I don't think I pressed down enough there. Oh, I like that one too. I will find a scrap piece of acetate and stamp that one again and let these dry, and then we will get on with our project. So I managed to stamp the last dragonfly stamp. Came out very nicely. And I found the corresponding die for that stamp, so I'm going to use that one. So what I want to do is, I have these two bits of cardstock that I got from my scraps. So it's a light pink and then this beautiful one. So I want to die cut that dragonfly shape into both of these pieces, and I want it in the same spot on both of the pieces. So I'm going to put them together on my big shot and put my die face down, centered up towards the top, like so. Try and get it straightish. And hopefully they're not too thick and it will cut through both for me. I know this top piece is quite thick, so let's cut through that very nicely. Might have to trim around this one. Oh, it's nearly got it. Here we go. Usually it would cut through both, but because that top one's so thick, it's almost gone through all the way. So what I'll do is just trim out any bits. Actually, it might pull out all right. Just trying to be gentle. So I can keep these bits for another project. Pretty cool. But what I want is my two little windows here. So I'll just remove my big shot. So now I've got these two windows that can go like that. So what I want to do is make a journal card. And I want to slip my little stamped image in there so I'll be able to see it on both sides. So we'll need to cut this down a little bit before we stick it in. You could colour this in as well with your Sharpies or alcohol inks or something. So I think it goes that way. Yep. So now we want to adhere that. Just grab my glue. And I'll just go around the outside of the shape. That. And then we can put our top layer on. Now I mainly want to worry about getting this lined up pretty well. If there's any overhang around the outside, we can just trim that. Got some glue just there. Just rub that off. Squish that down so you can see your little dragonfly from both sides there. Oh, that looks really neat. So I'm just going to cut the overhang that I've got there off. Now I do have some little flowers here that we could put on. Got this little tag. I like these little flowers. Need to cut them down a little bit. So put these on. And what I might do is just corner round. And then we've got the little stamps that came with. We've got the Be You, Be Strong and Be Happy. So let's do Be You, I think, on this. We could also stamp it onto some of the acetate. Might as well see what we like better. Looks kind of cool, but then you've got to figure out how you can stick it down without the glue showing, which is the hard part. What I could do is sew it onto some cardstock and then stick the cardstock down, which is a thought, but it actually shows up better on the acetate on that material. So now I have the word that I want to cut out, and because we can see through the transparency, it makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to put my die face up, and I can place my word where I want it on the die so I can see where it's going to cut it. And then I'll put my plate on top. And I'll run that through. I think I need new plates. This one's getting a bit messy. And it has stuck. And you can see that it's started cutting. Yes, it's cut it out quite nicely. And there's our little word. Now I have this little piece of the cardstock which I cut out, and I just used my tiny little corner punch to round the corners on that. So that will go on top just like that. So what I'm going to do is just go to my sewing machine, I think, and just do a couple of stitches down this side and down this side to hold that on. Okay, so you can see that I just did a couple of stitches on either side, and as I was snipping the stitch ends off, I accidentally snipped my transparency. I know. But that's all right. I will be making a few more, so it doesn't matter. Now, I think it would look really nice if I did a little bit of inking around these bits. So I've got my black soot ink here. Oh, no. Where is my ink pad? I have lost an ink pad. And then we'll just stick our word on. So I just want to check how I want it. Do I want it? Could even go down there a bit. Looks quite nice there as well. Okay, so that is it. Simple, but I really like it. So you've got your transparency there, which looks really cool that you can see from both sides. You've got room to write as a journaling card. That'd be lovely to slip into a pocket in your journals. So I have made a couple more journal cards and envelopes. So I thought I would show them all to you. So that's the one we made together. Beautiful little pockets. And then I've made this one with the blue ticket. They've still got writing all over them, but I can rub that out if it worries me. And that one, it was great to use up some of these die cuts. And that one with the green ticket. And then that's the journal card that we did together. Then I made a blue one. And then I made this one. So I used 3 different types of the dragonfly stamps to do the transparencies and 3 of the different die cuts that matched the stamps. And then I did end up using the little dragonfly stamps just to add a bit of embellishment. There's one there that you can see a bit better on the blue. So that was heaps of fun and I liked them. They turned out really cool. Something fun to make. So I hope you enjoyed that and it gave you some ideas. So if you're interested in checking out the other stamps and dies and crafty goodies that Globleland has, there is a link down below. There is also a coupon code, NAT10, which is down below as well. You can use that upon checkout to get yourself 10% off of any purchases at Globleland. And there's also links direct to the products that I've used in my videos for them. And again, a massive thank you to Globleland for letting me try out some of their product. It was heaps and heaps of fun. So, and I love it all, beautiful. So, and I have stamped so many of all of these stamps. And I didn't die cut them all out. I've just got them on the pages so I can tear them out or die cut them or do what I like with them now. Got them on the paper and the fabric so I can make plenty of embellishments in the future with them. And yes, lots that I want to do with these dragonflies as well because they're gorgeous. I'll have to do some on the paper and then colour them in. They'll come up nice, very pretty. So take care of yourselves, be good, and I will see you again soon. Bye.